Hey, welcome back to the Weekly Word Outdoor Adventures. It's old hot summertime. It's always hard to do Weekly Word Outdoor Adventures in the middle of summer. It's not a real fun time to be outdoors in the woods, but you got to watch out for all the problem things in the summertime. The mosquitoes are a nuisance and things like, but there's some greater problems in the mosquitoes and the ticks even. We'll talk about a couple of them the next couple of weeks, I guess. Here's one of them today we're going to look at. Poison ivy. Have you ever had a good case of poison ivy? If you have, then you probably haven't, and you know what I'm talking about. It's a case of the miseries, isn't it? I used to get it when I was a kid. I had some really bad cases, and all those old home remedies, I don't think anything works any better than just old calamine lotion, but it's still like a week or so of just misery of that stuff on you. But I haven't had a case of it in decades. And I basically live, work, and play in the woods, and I don't think I've developed immunity to it. I think really what happened is after you've got some cases of it and you're around it all the time, then you get an eye for it, and you just notice it right off. And like red flags go up in your mind, like don't waller in that stuff, because that's almost what it takes. There's an oil in it that's in the leaves, in the vine, even in the roots, that if you get that oil on you, here within the next few hours after you get it on, you're going to start getting that stuff. And if you ever think you got it on you and you start to feel your skin kind of drying and pulling, it's not too late to help yourself some right then, to go in and get in the soap and water and wash that real good. And that'll even help some at that point. But the main thing is just to be poison ivy aware. And there's a lot of misconceptions in this part of our southern Appalachians about poison ivy. I hear folks talk about poison oak and poison sumac, and really we don't even have that. Some of the doctors around here don't know, but look it up on the internet. We're out of the range of that stuff. You got to go west of the Rocky Mountains to get into poison oak, and poison sumac, it grows like in the lowlands and the swampy areas. So here in the mountains, basically everything you see, if you get a case of it, it's poison ivy. It don't matter, it's all the same, I guess, but here's where the misconception comes too, I think. People see it sometimes on a vine, and it'll go up a tree, and they'll say, that's poison ivy, and they're right. It'll go to the top of a great big high tree, and but on the ground, you can see it kind of just it'll grow in just a low-lying bush, and some folks say, well, that's poison oak. But what happens if that's over next to a tree, it'll do like a cucumber. It'll just run it and go all the way. But it's the same plant. It's poison ivy. Let me show you one right here. We're around a whole bunch of it, but it's got other stuff mixed in with it. It grows in the moderately shaded areas. You don't see it in the dense woods as much because it's too much shade. And out in the sunlight, it don't like that, but you get it a lot like where I am right here along the roads, where there's just enough open canopy to give it that kind of light that it likes, that moderately shaded stuff. So here's some right here. Let's take a look at this. See the three leaves? You may have heard the old adage, and that's how you memorize it. Leaves of three, leave it be. That stuff right there would get all over you. Leaves of three, leave it be. If we look right over here, here's some bigger clusters. I'd hate to fall in that. That's just a whole big mess of poison ivy right there. The prongs have the three leaves on it. But if we go right over here beside of it, a lot of people think, well, that's poison ivy too. It looks almost like it. But it's not. That's Virginia creeper. And it's got 5 leaves. And the saying is, leaves of 3, leave it be. Leaves of 5, you can let it thrive, because that's your friend. I've heard people say that'll make you, trust me, Virginia creeper ain't gonna hurt you. That's a friendly plant right there. But it grows right around the poison ivy, so folks think it's the same thing sometimes, but it ain't. Now, sometimes it makes you wonder if you've ever had a really good case of poison ivy, like, why in the world did God make poison ivy? It's something that just torments us. But I think everything had a good purpose when God first created it. You know, you read Genesis, everything He created, each of those 6 days, He said, and it was good. And there wasn't any bad to it. It was all good. But when the fall came, everything got all warped up, and that's, I think, when we got the negative side of things. Poison ivy still got a good purpose for some. If you're a bird, it'll keep you alive through the wintertime. I wouldn't advise you to eat it though, but it grows those berries on it that turn red in the fall, and the birds eat that all winter long. That's why it spreads so much too. They spread it everywhere. I've even seen horses eat it, and it don't seem to hurt them, but guess what? If your horse has been eating it and you go and you pet him, you can get it days after he's been eating it. Or if your dog comes in and he's been running through a patch, you can get it. But it had a purpose, I think, originally. Like I said, it kept things alive. I don't know, Adam and Eve, they may have enjoyed really good ivy salads, a big bowl of salad in the Garden of Eden before it went bad after the fall. But that's how the Bible says everything happened, including us human beings. Once sin came into the world, we opened that box up, we being Adam and Eve, us human beings. And the fall occurred to them and all of their descendants, and that's me and you. And we're all kind of that mixture now. We've got a purpose. God's got a purpose in our life, but we're all, everybody in some shape, form, or fashion, we're warped up too. We're not exactly what God created us to be, and we don't do God's will 100% of the time. And that's why we can't help ourselves. We have to have a help that's outside of ourselves. We're all fallen sinners. And that's the story of Jesus. He's the only perfect man that came and took the punishment of God for us on our behalf, and God imputed his righteousness to us on our behalf. It's the great substitution, it's called. He fulfilled what God expected humans to do to the uttermost, and our only hope is in grace through faith. I believe that story of Jesus, and I'm declared holy in God's eyes, even though I ain't got there yet, and I'm still striving for that, but in God's eyes, Christ has already paid for my punishment. And we learned two things here today. Watch out for poison ivy, but there's something a whole lot worse than poison ivy. That's the eternal consequences of sin, and Christ is the remedy for that. We'll see you next week. We're going to talk about chiggers a little bit. See you next week on the Weekly Word.